Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. He, him. Today I have on a black hat. I've got on my Negro League baseball jacket. This is the Kansas City Monarchs. I've got my gold shirt, which has some purple pants because it's Founders Day for our Q Dog brother, and obviously the person sitting to my left and your right. You already know what it is. Hey, look, this is our video minutes. Every week we come to you live from our headquarters. This is the Black Lives Matter and Justice Orwell's headquarters to talk about some of the things that we've discussed, that we're going to be discussing that happened last week. Some of the things that's happening now that we believe needs to be addressed in our community, and a couple of things that we might have in the hopper for the very near future. What I want to talk about first is the community violence in our community. And there's many people that's out making a difference, and I'm sure that Jody's going to come on and talk about that. But even before we get to that, we want to start with our mission statement. These are some of the things that introduce you to who the Community Solidarity Response Network is. So what I'd like to do, Julian, is have Jody read our mission statement. Then we'll have you come on back with our guiding principles, and we'll go ahead and get it started.
All right. All right. And something that we haven't done in a while, and I'd like to kind of, as we see the, 30 days for, or 21 days for Ohio is going to be set as a basic, not lockdown and not shut down, which me being in the restaurant I feel better, but it's still going to be, can't cross the borders, the stuff like that. So we ask our elders, do we have permission to start the meeting?
You have permission.
All right, Brother Washington being the elder of the group today. Looking forward to maybe sometime in the near future at a unnamed time we'll have live meetings in person again. But this is our mission statement for CSRN. Oh, also, my pronouns are him, he, we. I am a cinnamon tone, brown skinned bear of a man. I'm covered in wristbands and crystals, and the shirt I have on today is our organizational shirt, CSRN, hat from Filthy Feathers, and in stuff. So, mission statement. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after that it was announced that a killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive community-based events that help to foster development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politicians, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of creed, class, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives must matter. An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
All right, thank you, Jody. And I know that you probably see that, hey, it's Brother Washington, it's Julian, and Jody. He serves as our treasurer. That anytime someone donates their nickels and dimes to CSRN, he makes sure that everything's accountable. We'll talk about the success of our billboard And that wouldn't take place unless you have people around you that you can trust, to make sure that when people donate their hard-earned dollars, pennies, that it will be used for what it's supposed to be. So I thank Jody for that. Next, we're going to have Julian Mack read our guiding principles.
And before I bring up my name is Julian Mack. I'm a spokesman with the Community Solidarity Response Network. He, him are my pronouns. And I have on my fraternity shirt today, the Omega Psi Fraternity Incorporated, first black fraternity founded on an all-black campus, also affectionately known as the Q Dogs. Let's see. So here's our guiding principles. And I think it's important that we stay grounded in everything that we do. And this is what keeps us grounded. Love and self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be the driver of our work and the indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe?
Ashe.
All right, 360-degree vision. We honor the past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundation of the movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe?
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe?
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement, telling their stories directly. Ashe?
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe?
Ashe.
Principled struggle can't exist in a positive environment. We must embrace each other by embracing direct and loving communication. Ashe?
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe?
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe?
Ashe.
Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. Think beyond the possible. Ashe?
Ashe.
And all Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor and working class Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women's lives, Black immigrant lives, Black elderly and children's lives. All Black lives matter. We are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe?
Ashe.
Brother Washington, do you know our mandate?
Yes, sir.
Ask me what our mandate is.
Julian, what is our mandate?
The mandate in this time is to avenge the suffering of our ancestors, to earn the respect of future generations, and be willing to be transformed in service of the work. Back to you, Brother Washington.
Hey, look, thank you, Julian. Hey, this is a beautiful thing, the struggle for Black lives, the struggle to make people aware of the injustice and the things that are going on. But even more than that, Julian talked about self-care, which is an essential part of the protest community and the activist community. We spend a lot of time on the corners, protesting, creating awareness. We spend a lot of times talking with those in business in our communities. We spend a lot of time within government center, talking to the politicians and the people that's charged to protect us and charged to make the right decisions for us. Now, that can't happen without us recentering. And if we find ourselves that we can't recenter, then you might experience burnout or fatigue, that compassion fatigue that comes with doing the work and maybe having some unrealistic expectations of when change is going to come. We know that right now, we're just bookmarks in time, that somebody's going to come after us and push activism, push the protest community, and push justice further than we've done it. One of the things I want to talk about is city government and how CSRN is involved in city government. Since 2014, when we formed, we have always had a great, maybe sometimes contentious relationship with city government. It didn't matter if it was Cardi Finkbeiner, it didn't matter if it was our dear sister, Paula Hicks Hudson, or Governor Wade. All right, it has no, right, Caps Kevin.
Not governor.
Oh,
Yeah,
Governor,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Mayor. All right, hey, thanks for catching. All right, you caught that. It didn't matter who was head of government, city government in Toledo. All right, not the governor. Hey, but we can come for him too. All right, but right now we're trying to stay quarantined. We're trying to stay sheltering in place to keep ourselves safe. So after the end of this, yeah, we're going to Columbus too. All right, they can get it too. Mm-hmm. But making sure that CSRN makes sure that we are a part of city government, a part of other organizations that want to see a change. The Citizen Review Board is very important in how law enforcement engages us in the Black community. We wanted a Citizens Review Board that has subpoena power, that they can no longer, the chief of police, regardless who it is, can no longer bring PowerPoints and tell us what they've done and forcing others to agree with them. We're not doing that anymore. So right now we are in the process of making sure that the Citizens Review Board is the best that we can get. If it's not the best that we can get, there are some other things that we're willing to do. And CSRN is going to make sure that we always bring back reports regarding that. We want our government to be as good as they can. And when they can't, we're going to push them even harder. One of the things that I witnessed this week, and I'm going to put a big shout out to the Junction Coalition that took the forefront of the chemical spill in the area of Brown in Nebraska. That just happens to be the corner where Muhammad's Mosque number 91 is, and the Muslim community has been ill affected by that and how we organize and strategize in our community. And it makes it difficult for us to organize and do things in the community if we know that there's a dangerous, hazardous chemical that's being released. Before we could even step on the scene, the Junction Coalition was already there, asking questions, demanding answers, and being persistent. So if there's anything that CSRN or anyone else could do is to support the Junction Coalition at this time. It's unfortunate that we didn't see everybody coming to bat for our community. And we plan on being at the next, hopefully at the next meeting that the Junction Coalition has, whatever they need, regardless if it's bodies to show up, whatever they need in order to make sure the awareness of what's been spilt in the corners of Brown in Nebraska, Avondale, Vance, that whole section of that block has been affected by some hazardous chemical that we haven't been satisfied with the answers of what it actually is and who's cleaning it up and what should we prepare to do, in our homes if we're going to be there. So that's one of the things that we wanted to discuss tonight. Hey, and if you don't see Ruth is taking the day off to make sure that we do what we're supposed to do. But we expect to see Ruth back next week with her beautiful self. And she's given us our marching orders to make sure that we talk about the Citizens Review Board update that she's closely monitoring, that we make sure you keep updated with the what's happening regarding the chemical spill in the area of Brown in Nebraska. And listen, Julian, I think that's all that Ruth wanted us to cover. On that, we might come back and talk about how you could assist us in visiting our website, but maybe I could save that for after the break. So what did you want to do, Julian? Did you want to throw it to Jody to talk about some of the things in the community that we can support?
Let's throw it to Jody.
Let's go to break.
Okay. I got one for break, one for Jody. Hey, let's take a short break. Come back and join us. This is CSRN Video Minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay. We will be right Okay.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
Okay. All right. Hey. Hey, we're back. This is CSRN Video Minutes. Thank you for joining us tonight as we talk about some of the activism and protests from the other protest groups and some of the things that we're doing and some of the things that we have planned for the future. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. One of the things that I wanted to highlight also is the art community and what's happening with the art community and how art intertwines with the revolution, because you can't have the revolution without signs. You can't have signs if there's no one to make the sign. And a great sign, is a piece of art. So we wanted to bring up Jody right now, who is our resident artist, our resident chef, our resident businessman, to talk about some of the things that are going on in the community, but also going over some of the solutions and shout outs of the people that are already doing it with boots on the ground. Jody, you want to take it from here?
Yeah. And everybody, again, we thank you for sticking with us for over the years and all the support and gratitude that you've given us, because it's daunting doing this task, making sure that we're here every Tuesday, whether in person, online, at somebody else's event, because we also do frequent that. We're not just an organization that says we are the law and this is what has to happen. We connect and communicate with people through our community. Sometimes those ideas are taken and sometimes they come back. But in the art world, there's a lot of that. In community, there's a lot of that. It's give and take. You give recognition if somebody inspired you. It's kind of like within the artwork. You can't take a few lines from somebody's story and then plant them in your own and say it's not plagiarism. But it's art, it's inspiring. I thank everybody that's still out here doing, as we open our program today, we spoke of the curfew. I finally found the right word for it, but that Ohio is going under come Thursday, which will be from 10 a.m. to 5 a.m., but it's not effectively shutting down our restaurants and bars, which was a very scary thing for us. Most people who are artists right now or are entertainers have some type of other supplementary income. And in a way, even that's being attacked with, I know everybody witnessed what happened with YouTube and the new guidelines. Me personally, I've been watching Facebook, Instagram, and the other social media giants sit on Capitol Hill and discuss this thing that we've all been talking, at least those of us that are publishers and editors, since they started. So now they're having to explain themselves why they hide posts or delete posts, or why everything that you see is either an advertisement or a boosted post, and you can't even see if your family member just gets shot, because guess what? You need to buy this product.
That's right.
Getting a little off topic. But again, the pandemic has been very interesting towards art. Shout out to, I think, I'm not going to get the name of the radio station, but it's our independent radio station.
WAKT 106.1.
There we go.
Toledo
Miriam
Radio.
And Debbie, who I've done radio shows with them on air before, just realizing that the chapbook that was released that I talked about last week, in there was a lot of great artists like Arnold Cloister. I'm not going to say his last name right, but Joni is coming out, and they're going to be having that as a fundraiser for the station, because again, pandemic has hit everybody in different ways, whether it be you're an artist, a lawyer, a police officer, a politician. Everybody is affected differently by this, but in the end, we're all scared because we don't know the outcome. Yes, the possibilities are a vaccine, and I can go in days about that. But for right now, just take care of your family. Don't go out, and I've already seen it in several stores and major brands. Don't go out and buy toilet paper again. Don't go out and hoard stuff again because it's not needed. We got Thanksgiving coming up. Whether you celebrate the holiday or whether you do like me and appreciate the time that I get to spend with my family because I don't support the genocide of people who stuff.
You better say that, Joe.
What most of our holidays are about. Again, I'm very on that end of I can't beat my stick no more because I keep waking up the ancestors downstairs. I just wanted everybody to laugh on that. But
We can't take Jody anywhere.
shout out to Hill this week. I know got a Dave, the Arts Commission, the project.
Ancestors making you call.
Yeah, I know. But the project that was started over the summer to try and get kids out and mentors and leadership and do something to stop the neighborhood violence, because it's not black on black crime, it's not white on white crime, it's you kill the person that's closest to you.
There we go.
Most people don't go out their area. And we can't fix that problem by adding more police in areas. What we can do is get back to the premise of villages and other villages connecting to make communities instead of fighting over grant money, instead of fighting over ideas, instead of fighting over, I drew this line straighter than you, so it's my idea. That is kind of killing the society of what me as a creator, which I'm having to adapt, me and brothers, we spoke in the car, but I don't like Zoom. I don't like connecting to you from a camera. It's not the same as being with people. I have adapted, but don't forget there's another person on the other side of that screen. You can't just turn them into a meme. You can't just forget about them the next big thing comes up. So shout out to everybody at the Hill because we were supposed to be at Wilson Park, weather determined not. This was 64-mile-an-hour winds and rain and stuff like that. And if we're trying to keep kids healthy and everything and not get them sick by being at an event, it was canceled, hopefully postponed. But again, we have winter right around the corner. So what they did is take those 100 turkeys that they purchased and change the location a couple of times, but they were very time sensitive on letting people know. I got there probably maybe 15, 20 minutes after the event was over because I also worked that day and they had given out everything. So shout out to you, brothers. Shout out to the program for continuing to work its programmatic material, even through this, even with online learning, even with hotspots and towers being down and all of this stuff. People are still trying to engage the youth, the kids. What is another program? Brothers United and Chris McBrayer, a lot of other people that still are working behind the scenes. Just now you see us on Zoom. You can't see us on the corner because we are trying to social distance ourselves. We work and weave, as Mr. Brother Washington said. I almost call you Mr. Brother Washington. But as he said, I'm the treasurer and I do a lot of stuff. So I'm always on my phone. I'm always responding to people at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because I counsel a lot of people. My book's about suicide prevention and domestic violence. That's not fiction for me. It's what I do 24/7. If somebody calls me at 3 o'clock in the morning talking about they want to take these pills, I answer. That's my real life. So some of the art and existential, I guess, explosion that comes out of my artwork and words are they're real. So again, to everybody that's pushing through this, to everybody that's a creator, an entrepreneur, somebody that involves something to give back, not just take from generations and put them in a sweatshop or a factory somewhere because it's convenient and stuff like that. Thank you. Thank you for doing more. I know what does that say? Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the phone too.
All right, Joe.
But yeah, I think that's about it for right now. Awesome to everybody doing stuff, even if it has to be on Zoom, as long as you're getting the work out there, as long as you're staying focused, good.
All right, hey, look, Julian, let's go ahead and take a short break. We'll come back with Julian, and then we'll start to wrap up our video minutes. Thanks for joining us, CSRN Video Minutes. Soon.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
Okay,
Hey, you get to
we
see,
live.
right? You get to see what happens behind the scenes, and hopefully one day we'll put together all of our blooper reel of what happens when it don't go right. But today everything is going well. Hey, thanks for joining us. It's the CSRN video minutes. We want to thank everybody that's watching. We want to thank everybody that's in the chat right now with your words of encouragement, with some of your questions regarding the things that we're doing and the things that we have coming up. What we want to discuss now is from Julian Mack. He serves as our spokesman. One of the things about CSRN is that there's no CEOs or presidents. We decided that we wouldn't use language like that, but we do need a spokesperson that after we meet and we decide which way that we're going to go, and we want to get this message out to the media. We wanted somebody that can not only stay on message, but also add the extra energy needed to convey that message of whatever agenda that we're pushing, regardless if it's education, if it's city government, if it's law enforcement, if it's health, regardless what it is. Julian Mack serves as our spokesperson, and we thank him for being the first one to take all of the shots whenever somebody may not, if you decide that you don't like what we're doing, he's the person that's telling you. So we thank him for that. We thank Ruth Leonard also, who serves as the lead administrative core that gives the last word on the things that we're doing. And the four of us that you see and the many others that really can't fit inside this room because it wouldn't be healthy and it wouldn't be wise to put everybody in the room. So we thank all of our supporters that allow us to come to you every week, because there's people that you see here, but there's people that you don't see that helped us put up the billboard, that helps us with all of the things and events that we do. So
Yeah, you're part of CSRN too. So I don't ever think that just the people you see doing the video minutes are the only people part of CSRN. We are the collective community, right? And so one of the things that's been difficult since we've been under quarantine is we want to make sure we engage. So send us a message on our page if you have a question, if you have a comment, and engage in us, because we're still very active, even though we're not meeting as much in person as we once were. I think that's something that we've all tried to drill home, is how we're doing things differently. But you got to send us a message, engage with us. We want to hear from you, right? And we want you to see what's going on. So you absolutely are part of this movement and part of this work, but there can be more, send us a message.
Right.
Yeah, send us a message.
Second on to that too is, send us a message, even if it's individually, because you're not going to see us as an organization go into the comments for anybody. So if you want to know some more specific stuff, contact us. We are here. You are here. Again, me and Brother Washington wasn't up there tacking up that billboard, the wristbands, yard signs. You kind of are an official member, and we can't wait to see everybody again soon when it's safe.
All right. Now I want to go ahead and segue to Julian, because usually, if you know, Julian is a big part of the political scene here in Toledo, and also part of a lot of other things that are going on that's positive too. Hey, Julian, we wanted to ask you about what's going on at City Council. I think one of the big things that's going on now is the red light cameras.
Yes.
Where are we on that? What are some of the positions that different people are taking towards that? I know that maybe a couple of years ago we were talking about ban the cam.
Yeah.
And we had some movement out on that. How far has that come now? And what are some of the things that you can expect to see, that we can expect to see in the near future?
So it was deemed by the the Ohio State Supreme Court that the cameras that they use to take pictures, the red light cameras, are unconstitutional. There's a lot of people, most of us in CSRN have held the belief that we're against the increased surveillance of any kind in our neighborhoods, and that only adds to that. There's also a long history of the company by the name of Redflex, adding to corruption to the municipalities. Redflex functions as a money-making machine. The focus of the red light cameras is to generate capital, not to create safety, right? And we deal with enough exploitation of our existence here in America where we don't need any more of that. So we've taken a pretty firm stance that we're against this, and the Ohio State Supreme Court has banned this. We actually were actively collecting signatures to ban the cam in the case that the Ohio State Supreme Court didn't act, but they did. But it looks like Toledo.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a...
Sorry, blooper. All right, but it does look like the Toledo, the city of Toledo, the administration has found a way to try to override the ruling of the Ohio State Supreme Court. So just tonight in Toledo City Council, it was discussed on whether or not they were going to bring back the cameras. And essentially, we're pretty lucky. We were able to have some advocates, some city council members were able to get this open for a public meeting, which is this Thursday at 4:00. A Zoom meeting, perfect for you, Jody. So if you want to, be a part of this meeting, please, we're going to post a flyer on our page, because we want you to be able to be a part of this meeting and testify why you are for or against the cameras. All right. But we want you to participate in democracy. We're also awaiting some data for the Civilian Review Board. There are some ongoing talks. There's a lot of behind the scenes work going on too, right? Not all of the work we do is up front. There's some behind the scenes work. There's a lot of studying. There's a lot of relationship building. So right now we're continuing to do that. We've been very disappointed with the Police Reform Committee because it has not met since September. It's only met 2 times in the past. In the past four months, August, September, October, November. Yeah, in the past 4 months. And so we are wondering if this is a tool being used by Mayor Wade and the Kapsakevich administration to delay change. If you remember, on June 30th, there was legislation for civilian review board and police reform legislation that was really going to be voted on the day of the city council members' investigation or indictment. Let's put it that way. And there's yet to be really any movement on that. And even the legislation that passed before that is yet to be practiced. While at the same time, there is new policies, right, such as Operation Red Zone, that the mayor and the Toledo police chief has put into place, that hyper surveil Black communities and increase the charges of possessing a firearm to the federal level, which is the exact opposite direction that we want to move in. This was originally implemented in September. We know they enforced it again on Halloween weekend, and so we don't want this to continue to happen. Yet, when I ask, if we were to have these conversations on the street, how many people know that that's happening? They don't know, which means that it's not a deterrent if people don't know, right? And so that's kind of the brief thing of what's going on with what's going on with city government. So be aware of the red light camera committee as we go forward.
Hey, look, we've got I guess we got a couple of things we want to talk
You got
about.
any more questions?
I don't think we have any more questions.
Oh, I gotta answer my question myself.
Okay.
If you see, there was a city councilwoman McPherson basically challenged Toledo residents to resign from any type of violence and to express compassion with one another from November 20th to 21st. So, we encourage everybody to be nice to each other and to not
Stop the violence.
and to stop the violence and to put the guns down. Thank you very much, Jody. All right, we'll be right back as we get ready to close up our meeting.
Hey, we're back, and it's I think I've got to do what Ruth normally does. Sometimes often people ask us how they can help in the cause of CSRN. One of the things that we'd like you to do is visit our webpage, CSRN.com. You can not only be a part of some of the committees that work toward social justice, you could also donate. So we have our Cash App, CSRN 419. We have our PayPal, CSRN 419. If you'd like to get the some of our Black Lives Matter yard signs, we have yard signs. If you'd like to get our wristbands, we have the wristbands. We have our T-shirts. We have our water bottles. We even have some of our defund Toledo police signs, which are always a party favorite, especially this time of the year. So regardless if you celebrate Christmas or Kwanzaa, buy somebody a Black Lives Matter sign. Buy someone a defund the Toledo police sign. All right, you'll be the party favorite on your block if you could do that. So,
we also got buttons.
Right. We also have
keychains.
Right. We also have our buttons, our keychains with Black Lives Matter, our buttons with Black Lives Matter, Justice or Else, arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. I wish we had that one, but we need to get that one also.
But
Okay. All right. So just visit our website. Visit our website. That's also the way that we were able to get our billboard up. And please, everybody, if you can, if you're traveling south on the Anthony Wayne Trail, right there at the Anthony Wayne Trail in City Park, you see our billboard. It's lit up beautifully at night. Blow your horn, take a picture of it, post it online, share it to us. That's our way of giving back to our community. That's our way of making sure that people know that Black lives still matter in Toledo. They've always had. We just have a billboard that says it. You know, before I move any further, Jody, I cut you off when you were talking about the buttons, the keychains, anything that I left out.
I think you did good with that.
Do we have any?
As the treasurer to make sure all the funds go where they're supposed to, and the donations from everybody, not just this year, but every year, every event that we've had, our fundraisers, our community forums, our scholarships, our movie theaters, everything that we are able, even when we give back and donate to other organizations, it's mainly because of you all. It's mainly because of your donation. So yes, we're at the point now where we have T-shirts and wristbands and chains and yard signs and shirts and water bottles and all this stuff. But it couldn't have happened without all of you. Something that I can announce that's coming very soon next week. I purchased a wide format printer. So we will also have Black art that you will be able to purchase. People have seen since Black August, I've been releasing stickers and more of the art. Within my art form called Ink Truth, there is an entire Black collection. And those, thankfully to Ruth, who has done a great administrative lead job on the website and making sure things are pointable and clickable and you can talk to us and communicate with us. They will be going up there by the end of the year. So you'll have, I believe there's maybe anywhere from 7 to 10 designs that you'll be able to pick from, the wide poster format to the sticker size, with 90% of the proceeds going back into CSRN and what we do here as a collective work. So that way we can continue through the lean months, through the times where we understand you have families, you have Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the holidays you may celebrate, Kwanzaa and everything like that. So don't just think that you're just giving to something that we say, hey, we're eventually going to get around to doing something. No, like with the billboard and everything else. We only ask when there's an immediate need. Anything else that you give sits there until we have an immediate need for it. We're not out buying Jordans and other stuff. But yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jody. Last couple of things. Next Tuesday, we want you to join us. Next Tuesday is the 24th. The 24th, 6 years ago, myself and a couple of other guys, Jabril Bay and Mike Leonardi, stood in front of the Lucas County Courthouse. We were unsatisfied with the potential of the verdict of the indictment of Darren Wilson. Mike Brown was murdered by Ferguson, Missouri police officer. And we wanted to bring some awareness, regardless with the indictment, if it was going to be indicted or not. But he was not indicted. We decided on November 24th, 2014, that we would be at the Lucas County Courthouse. They shut the courthouse down. They shut a lot of businesses down that day, but we still showed up. That very same night, we met at the Kent Branch Library, and we started the official formation of the Community Solidarity Response Network. This was on a Tuesday. And every Tuesday since, people have shown up to help us and assist us and lead us in the cause of social justice. So next week, 6 o'clock, if the universe permits, we'll be here. We'll have Ruth here. And what we'd like to do is talk about our journey from 2014 to now. some of the battles that we've won, some of the lessons that we've learned. It's difficult to do something like this in Toledo and not be able to adjust.
Yeah.
It's difficult to do something like this in Toledo without being inclusive. And we have been. And everybody that's been involved, so many people that's been involved with getting us here and keeping us here. So I like to have a walk back through memory lane, and you could do this on a computer screen right now. If you just scroll down our page all the way back to 2014, you can see the things that we've championed. You can see some of the things that we've done. So next Tuesday will be 6 years, Community Solidarity Response Network. That following Tuesday, the following Thursday, not only please show up for the Zoom regarding the red light cameras. That's important. The very next day is Black Friday. Every year, CSRN posts up at the Franklin Park Mall on the Talbot side from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock to promote Black economics. From those 4 weeks up until Christmas, Black people spend $100 million a week. And most times those dollars don't circulate in our community more than once, if not a few hours, at most a few minutes. We want to circulate those Black dollars. We're going to be outside of Franklin Park Mall. We want to redistribute the pain that comes from us spending with others and they don't give back. So on Thursday, we'll mention this Tuesday too. Thursday, please join us. Franklin Park Mall, Blackout, Black Friday. Julian, I think I'm done here. Is there anything that I forgot? And then we can bring Jody back for 5 minutes of heat.
Send us a message if you'd like to testify for the red light camera against the red light cameras.
All right. Well, look,
Jody, go ahead. Take us home, brother.
Yep. This is how we close our meetings out. We don't close them out with a gavel or anything like that. We close it out with create. Oh, well, yeah, we got the stick. All right. Hey. All right.
No more. Wake up, right. Ancestors.
Right. We close out with creative expression. This is the soul of CSRN, the ability to chronicle what we do with art. Before we do that, was something that I missed doing?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to bring up, so for any Black man listening to this call, I encourage you to go to blackmenbuild.com. There's a really good meeting with some really good brothers. Mark Lamont Hill is actually going to be on this meeting coming up in about an hour. And for anybody who wants to understand more about what's happening nationally with the movement, go to m4bl.org, m4bl.org, because we have to realize Black people, we beat Trump, right? We beat Trump, and there are parts of the Democratic establishment that are trying to minimize the impact that the radical folks that were in the streets made. Right, there was a huge increase of registered voters after the death of George Floyd and when we started taking to the streets. And it's very clear that increase in attention and political awareness is what led to the electoral change that we see. But our work is not done. It's really just beginning, and we're going to get what we're out in these streets demanding for. And so we encourage you to join us.
Yep. And as they say, don't worry about giving it to us because we're coming to take it.
That's right.
Jody?
And in so many ways, it's just another way to say, stay woke. Like, this is an election. It does not solve our problems. For us here alone, we had 3 or 4 independent voter election, voter absentee ballots and stuff like that, because we've always been involved. We don't take a side. We just want you to use your voice. So I think in total, maybe 400 or 500 people got registered through us. We went through the prison system. So this isn't just like us pandering to the cameras because it looks good. This is our actual blood, sweat, and tears of being there, feet on the ground.
That's right.
As this has changed with COVID and safer measures and practices. Plus, we have winter coming. I still thank all the soldiers that are adapting and have not just been there for the crowd and the cameras, but they are still continuing to do the work. Again, we celebrate as we got Julian over here celebrating the fraternity. We have our own kind of establishment or organization that we'll be celebrating next week. And I'm very happy to be a part of that. Again, one of our pieces about our founding, the Beat the Drum, is now an anthology that will be used to help build other foundations through the sale of its profits and everything like that. So that's a beautiful thing to do, to live to see, and not just talk about. But for 5 minutes of heat, today's piece is going to be Surviving Nothing. So this was written right before the first lockdown in March, I believe January of this year.
That's right.
Around that time. So my foresight and just to seeing how the work is done and not knowing there was COVID or anything like that. It was just something I was seeing heading up leading into this year.
Okay.
So again, no, I'm not going to call you sheep because you're not. You're just people searching for answers. But stay woke, stay positive, stay hungry for whatever it is you need to be coming for. Because if not, they'll let you starve. Let's begin, peace. Nothing will survive us. Not the land, not the air, not the children, not the religions, not the politics, not even our cultures we grasp so tightly to. Nothing will survive us. We consume everything that gives us life and replace it with a genetic construct that's easily distributed to murder the lives of masses, replacing the fertile land with genetically modified creatures that cannot reproduce themselves, leaving the land barren, water sour, air contaminated, livestock diseased, and generations of people malnourished because they do not know how to eat from the source. Nothing will survive us. Not the land, not the air, not the children, not the animals, not our misdeeds, not our triumphs. Nothing will survive us. Let those words dig deep down into your soul until you find the push to fight back. Have it become the rhythm that drives you forward every time you think you might snap. Think of the things that you will lose by giving up. Imagine if every time similar words were spoken, you decided to fight back. Nothing will survive us. If you all lay down and complain and do nothing, we will be the only future you see. Nothing will survive us, but I refuse to live that reality. In peace.
Yo, I want to encourage everybody to follow Cori Bush on social media. She's an activist just like us from Ferguson. She came here to speak a couple years ago for the Martin Luther King celebration, and she's made it all the way up to Congress. And her posts are straight facts. All right, straight facts, and it's been awesome to see. You know, at this time, it gets to be real transparent when someone goes from civilian life and they're in that transition to public service, and it's really transparent. I challenge you to go check it out. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up our meeting right now with our solidarity pledge. Repeat after me. Say I.
I.
Say your name.
Brother Washington.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
As I love myself.
As I love myself.
I. Say your name.
Brother Washington.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To study to improve myself.
To study to improve myself.
Spiritually. Mentally. Morally. And physically. For the benefit of myself.
For the benefit of myself.
My family.
My family.
And my people.
And my people.
I.
I,
say your name,
Brother Washington,
pledge to strive
pledge to
to be a
strive
part of the solution,
to be a part of the solution,
the process,
the process,
and not the problem.
and not the problem.
I, say your name,
Brother Washington,
pledge to strive
pledge to strive
to give all that I can spare,
to give all that I can spare
of my time,
of my time,
of my strength,
and
my energy
my energy
to achieve the above said.
the above
Now
said.
give yourself a round of
All
applause.
right, great job, everybody. Great job.
Remember, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. Justice or else. Peace. All power to the people, baby.